Welcome back to Eco. And it's, asteroids right above. We got 15 hours out of one day and 29 days left. So, yeah, not very long at all. We've been in here 9 hours and we've got a nice cabin. So, last episode, remember when I was having trouble with the icebox? It wasn't anything to do with the icebox. It was poor me. I forgot I'm playing the standalone player and it doesn't auto-patch. I'm so used to playing the Steam version of games. Patching should just be automatic. No, my shortcut is to an independent version of the game. So we have an icebox now that has storage space. More importantly, I guess we can make sure that we put our hunting sort of goods, carcasses, in an icebox, and I guess we can just put another one out here somewhere. And it has to be contained within a room. Interesting. Although it's still a container, so it should be fine. The only room requirement thing is probably that it actually contributes to the house. And does this contain within a room? It is. So, yeah, the icebox uses 4 meters cubed, and the butchery table uses 25. So if we just wanted those two things, it's fine in a room this size. Otherwise, we'd have to expand it, which is fine. We'll expand rooms fairly soon. Remember, we've got 2 research projects on the go, so that will keep on going. And let me just make sure I'm holding this torch. So there we go. We're doing smelting, and then we'll also have stone construction while we're at it. While those are on build, what I thought we'd do this episode is look a little bit more at putting some crops down. I think. Yeah, I think we'll go and have a look at some crops. So, early game, the crops you're going to want. You're going to get seeds of huckleberries, corn, you're going to get wheat, tomatoes, and there's going to be some other things as well. Mainly we're going to get beans. Beans don't have seeds because they are their own seeds. And we also want some beet seeds. We want probably some rice at some point, but we've got enough to get started. So to have a look at farming, bring up your map, and let me just move this till it's much bigger, so you can get a larger idea. There we go. So here's our beautiful world. The sun's going to come up soon, and we can pop into the world layers, spin all the way down to the bottom, and we're going to have yield potential. So again, we've got this soil sampler now. So if we go to wheat yield potential, you'll see there's a nice area just to the north of our base, sort of left to right, west to east. And we can show that in the world. And it's going to be downhill, however. But let's go and see where it is. Yeah, look at that. I do like seeing these things in the world. What I was figuring out, maybe over there somewhere, because that's fairly flat. And we'll have to see whether wheat likes it. Well, obviously, is already some wheat here, which is a good sign, because it would be dead otherwise. So let's go and take a look, shall we? Let's go grab our sort of soil sampler and make sure we're pointing at wheat. Yeah, there we go, wheat. So it's 75% match, which is good enough for me. Current yield is 5 wheat, so if we just, or current yield is 5, that doesn't necessarily correspond to the amount of wheat. So if I take this, what will we get? Is it in my inventory? Oh, it didn't take. There we go. So we get 6 wheat, and we didn't get any wheat seeds, but yeah, we've got a start. And then, of course, what we can do is just let me just turn this world layer. Oh, it's not light, so the world layer is still going to be a little dark if I turn this off. But we can just lay out a row of wheat. Now, not all plants like to be laid out in rows. If I remember correctly, beets certainly don't. You don't want to put them in a row next to each other, that they will consider themselves overcrowded. But because we'll get so many wheat seeds once we've got our gathering skill up, let's go and see if we get more from this one. 4 wheat seeds, 6 wheat. So because we'll get quite a bit from each one, it's not too critical at this point. So let's just replace that. Pop this down, and then we're going to, let me just take off the world layer just so that you can see that all of this is tilled, well, some of this is tilled soil. Let me just change this, till the rest of it. And you are going to get times where this isn't going to be ideal. You know, oh, because I've updated the game, it's going to, yes. In fact, it's going to probably give all the tutorials again. I don't want that. But yeah, let's just plant this down. Nothing special, just right click. And just back your way along with the row. Clicking, clicking, clicking. And has that clicked that one? Yes, it has. So now we can take a look at the soil sample. And you can go through this before you put the wheat down, but because we're in a good yield potential area and we see existing wheat around here, it's probably going to be okay. And as you can see, all of this is saying really nice match. Now, it does have nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium down here, so we can improve that if we wanted to. You'll see, however, it does take 16 hours to grow. Well, 17. There's nothing that I know of that will speed that up. I wish it were, but plants will just grow at a certain sort of time and certain frequency and certain period. So nothing we can do to speed that up. However, if you're on a server, you come in the next day and well, it's all grown. The downside to that is, of course, is that the asteroid's a bit closer by that same amount. But in single player, I think because it's shut down, we shouldn't have that kind of issue. And that does mean that maybe I'm not going to have as many crops as I might in multiplayer. Or at least not nowhere near that amount of time. I can't let the server just tick over and, and save crops that way. So I guess I've got to make sure that I plant enough and keep gathering wild crops while my my individual crops grow. And that's all done. We've got 2 rows. I'm not going to do it more on camera. You get the idea. And yeah, so we've got wheat done. We should also look at tomatoes. I think tomatoes are one of those, again, where you don't really want to put them in rows, I don't think. In fact, hang on, let me just double check, make sure. The soil sampler, if we go to the wheat, it says it's very overcrowded, needs some extra space, but see, this wheat has enough space, but this one doesn't. Is it purely this dirt? Let me just get rid of all these tutorials. Skip all tutorials, yes. And this overcrowding sometimes takes a while to update, so let's just move this dirt out of the way. And let's just see. Yeah, it's still saying very overcrowded, despite the fact that there's nothing on either side of it, and this one is saying enough space. Yeah, there's really nothing there for them to object about. Perhaps this one. So again, we can probably just take that and that out. And we should be okay once they update their overcrowded status. All right, so what else can we do? Let's just see if our research is finished. It's still researching something. Has it finished smelting? It has. Okay, so we can go into storage. And as normal, we can find where it's put the smelting. Yeah, put it in here. Get a skill scroll, complete the skill scroll, and we get 4 more claim flags, 5 even. And am I just piling them up somewhere? I am. I've got 30 so far. I shouldn't need them just yet. Or in fact at all on single player. And that means I should have access to smelting. Now I've got 21 skill points. Because I'm not on a server, this doesn't pile up in again, just like the crops, it doesn't pile up in a huge way. I have to actually play through to get these skill points, so it's not easy to do that. So smelting, we can learn that, and then we got the options of basic smelting, which is all our ingot recipes, and we've got metalworking. So this is pipes, iron shovels, lots of nice tools in essence. So I think I want both of those. And then efficiency, of course. And efficiency I consider really, really quite important. So I'm going to take 1 level of each of those, and I think I'm going to pour more levels into them. Now, smelting, once we build something, is going to have a problem. It's going to be our first thing that produces pollution. Pollution comes in 2 types that I know of. One is air pollution. So that's when you have something with a chimney just pumping, gases into the atmosphere. That sort of disperses, I think. I'm not sure how fast it disperses, but, it affects the ecosystem around it. And ground pollution. Ground pollution is the other type. Now, that is more of a problem, and it will become a problem until we get to at least blast furnaces, if not further. Because every time we smelt iron ore into iron ingots, you get, I think, 2 tailings, which is just another type of item, per iron ore. But the tailings... Wolf... I know it's a dog. I know we shouldn't be hunting dogs, but fur's so soft. Anyway, aw. What was I saying? Tailings, yes. 2 tailings per iron ingot, and they pollute the ground. If you put them in this stockpile, they'll pollute the ground. That'll start spreading, and if there's water nearby, it'll pollute the water. Luckily, we're not too close to water. It's all the way down there. But if you want to get rid of it, you have to go mining. You have to go and dig deep enough into the ground, just like disposing of nuclear waste, that we're well below any kind of area that it can pollute. And I think that's something like, it has to be 10 solid stone blocks away from the ground. And you'll see if I start digging down, I'm not sure where's best to begin digging down, to be honest. It shouldn't matter. If I just pop down over here somewhere, you'll see this is all dirt, and we still can't count that as, you know, the top level until we get to stone. So we've got to go further down and further down until we get to the first stone block. It won't be very far down, and then keep digging, so at least 10 down from that. And then the stockpile goes up to 5 high, so we have to dig down 5 more from that, and then we have to surround it with either rock or stone or something like that, and that will stop it from actually spreading into the groundwater, etc., etc. That's what it's simulating, and that takes a lot of work. So if I slow down on eco episodes, you'll know why. It's me digging. Digging a lot, and that's the only downside to this game, really. I've had a few comments from people saying, hey, you should invite more people. Yes, I am independently playing a game with other people on a server. I'm not going to do that on camera at the moment. I just want to see how well that goes, and you know, I'll come back to you on that one. So we also want to wait for stone construction. Now, stone construction is much like the wood construction skill. In fact, that's finished as well, so we may as well pick it up. There you are. And it just lets us build more blocks out of stone, and another set of claim flags. So stone, we can replace this building. I do quite like it. The usual thing is you end up with part wood, and then someone builds a wing off into one direction, and that's built out of stone. The reason why you move up to stone and eventually brick is that the more advanced crafting stations require themselves to be in a room that is a certain tier of material. So this starting stuff, they're fine with a wood cabin, you know, in the middle of nowhere. But the next step up, they'll need stone buildings, and one after that will need brick buildings, etc. So we've got to get on with that, and so I'm going to go set up a few things. Okay, so I've just put basic engineering on the research table, and we're also going to take some of these pelts because we want tailoring as well. Now, tailoring, it makes cloth, which is certainly a good thing, but it also helps with decorations and having the house be better, I think. So let's have a look at that one, tailoring skill book. Yeah, so it requires each of these 3 things. We've got them all, so we can get that going. I don't think I'm going to need paper milling yet. We could make mortared stone to actually do it, but I don't think we're going to need it just yet. Milling we're going to need relatively soon. You see I've got enough corn and enough wheat, and that just needs mortared stone as well. So we can do that as well. In fact, we can do that now. Let's just order it. I've got mortared stone on in the background on my masonry table. It's just where I'm stood. We could do glassworking as well. Not that I particularly need glassworking, but having nice windows in the houses is going to be useful. So, yeah, why not? That's going to need sand, though. You can grind stone into sand, but it's 5-to-1 stone to sand, so it's more expensive than you might think. What you might want to do is just go and take a chest down to a stockpile down near some sand, and then just pile into the stockpile via you know, a regular shovel, and then pick it up in, I think it's 5s you can pick it up in, or 10, something like that, and you can carry it then in bunches rather than just running around with a shovel one at a time. Farming we've already got, I think. Yeah, we've already got it. That's fine. Cooking is the next sort of area. That's something we don't have yet, and the reason why is iron ingots. So we're going to have to get to that fairly soon, and we're going to have to just deal with the pollution initially. I don't think there's any way of dealing with it until we mine downwards. So I'm going to have to, have a look at that one. Each time I mine, of course, that creates 4 pieces of something that I have to gather. You can create carts, and I think, are they on this? Or does it require the Wainwright table? It may require the Wainwright table, which requires some boards. So let's get some boards on the build. And let's just say, I don't know, 10. And in fact, no, I need more than 10, don't I? I need 17. I need another 8. So let's just put another 8 on the build. Okay, I'm going to need to go and get some more trees. Are we finished with this research yet? 46 seconds to basic engineering. Okay, and I've been collecting more food. So I don't know whether I showed it on camera or not, but I had some beets down here. I think the last episode. Yeah, right there. They'd matured, so they were just fine for me to collect. So we've got some of those going, and some tomatoes that were just wild. One of the best crops actually is huckleberries, in that you can just that you don't have to replant them, so it doesn't really cost much in the way of calories, and that means yeah, you can just run around and gather them all. We get lots of them, of course. They are useful in the later cooking recipes. You can make huckleberry muffins and all kinds of other things that really increase your calorie count, which is very good. What do we actually want? We want probably some fish. There we go. So the mix is full. And we're up to 1,018 calories. Sorry, skill points per day. With basic engineering done, and I've just learned the skill, we should be able to go and head into here with basic engineer. And we can now open up a couple of things. One is the water wheel recipe. So I don't think I have any rivers anywhere nearby that actually have ground anywhere near the level of the river. It all seems like chasms, or canyons. So yeah, I may have to have a look at that one. But level 1, more importantly, is the wood cart recipe. We'll get to wood carts and their let's just say dubious stability on servers another time. You can just walk around with them. They are very useful, but you need roads to walk around, and they need to be a flat surface. On servers, sometimes they can have an issue with the ground, and the physics interacts weirdly at the moment in the game with them, and the cart ends up flying off into the stratosphere through cloud layers, maybe narrowly missing the asteroid and coming back down somewhere else. I'm not sure if that's the case in single player, so I may well build one just to see if that's the case. It's certainly fun to see it happen the first time, and annoying the times after when it's full of something you want. Yeah, okay, so speed I'm not too concerned about. What does that say? Efficiency? Efficiency, that's logs and boards. I'm not too concerned about that either, because water wheels and windmills are going to be relatively infrequently made, and wood carts pretty much the same as well. We need a few, but not so much. However, road construction is very useful. Excuse me. So if you're going to build a road into a mine, you're going to want to be able to, build the road, but also it's mainly for the carts, so you can walk up and down to the carts and be quite efficient with the contents of the carts. So we should take, is there anything else on this recipe? Water wheel and windmill. Okay, let me just take the water wheel, because the windmill actually needs steel, and we don't have steel yet. Road construction. So we get a road tool recipe, so that's fine. And a stone ramp recipe. Again, all very fine. What do we get for level 2? Stone road. Level 2 we'll take. And I'm not concerned about the third one, because that's asphalt. And asphalt is way out of what we can do at the moment. Efficiency, what are the other benefits of this? Decreases dirt cost, that would actually be good. Board costs for road tools, stone ramp, stone and pitch cost. So yeah, I think we actually want those. At least to level 2 or 3. Yeah, I'll leave that alone for now. And obviously we have other things as well, like mechanics that we've got to get to as well, which unlock the powered cart. But that's not not just here, not just now. And industrial engineering, you can see we've got lots and lots of stuff we can actually make. Electronics assembly, oil drilling. So there's a lot of stuff in the engineer tree that you perhaps might not think the game had from looking at it, thinking that it's just a very simple Minecraft-like game. You'll see here the water wheel only requires 20 logs, which is just fine. There's no real problems with that. That provides mechanical power, and the first thing you're going to want for that is the mill. And I'm not sure if is the mill on our masonry table. Probably is. Yes, here it is. So we require some more stone and some more logs, and that requires mechanical power. So probably what I'm going to do with a mill, just because it's, you know, we've not really got any water nearby, and that's the only source of power. I've got to find an area that has water nearby, or that we could dig water out of, I guess. Let's just have a look around. See what I mean about this? It's quite not easy. The clearest area I can see is down there. And I think I'll probably want to put a bridge across here anyway. You know, we may need to get across there and maybe over there where that little pointy rock is sticking up. Hopefully you can see that on camera. So if we didn't do that, we can get across just down here. So maybe we build a water wheel of some kind around here. This is low enough, I think. Is that only one block? Yeah, it's only one block. So we probably should just, you know, move this out of the way. Oh no, my torch has gone out. Yeah, I've got an infinite torch. Or at least that's probably going to burn out again. Anyway, we can put a couple of pieces of dirt there, maybe get a water wheel going. Let me just go and grab a... what was I going to grab? I'm going to have to grab some more logs, I think, to make it. Let me put it on build, and then we'll go and see if we can get a water wheel down there, and maybe the mill as well, because both of them just require stone and logs. And while both of those are on build, they do actually take quite a while to actually do. The mill and the water wheel. One's 20 minutes, the other one's 25 minutes. So we may as well maybe look at... Do I have enough space in this room to put another masonry table down? Just like we did with workbenches. It's in status. No, we've used everything in this room. Have we used everything in this room? Probably have, you know. Status... actually, no. We've got room in here. If I build another masonry table, let's see if we can do that one. Yeah, I have enough resources, so let's build another one of those. That's only 1 minute. And can I build anything else in here? Torch stands are kind of useful for nighttime. You do have to put a torch in them, and they will obviously burn down. So that's something to take account of. Stores only really useful if you're in multiplayer, but you can offer some of your goods that you've made for other people's goods. You can nominate what you actually want there. I may, at this rate, this is an iron axe, and I don't have any iron yet, so I'm gonna maybe have to make some more, or an iron, sorry, a stone axe for that. We're probably gonna need another stockpile, so let's make one of those anyway. And you can see I can make a small wood cart on here now, so I'll make one of those as well. And a road tool. Did we already get given one of those? Probably not. Another one of those, and yeah, we're getting quite a lot of stuff building at this rate, but it all should be okay. Is there anything else we want to build duplicates of? Maybe the carpentry table, to be honest, but I've made more space before I actually do that. So let's just grab, that's the masonry table. Let's just grab that from wherever it's put it. There we go. I think what I'll probably do is grab this meat as well, and we'll see if we can cook that up. I've had pitch on the campfire. Let's just actually change this for meat. Butchery table. Yeah, so we can get charred meat out of this. That should be okay. Let's just put 25 on, shall we? That only takes 15 because of my efficiency. Okay. And that should do just fine. And is there anything else we want to make? We can make sausages, I suppose, if we go back to the butchery table, but that's not important just yet. I'm actually going to put on another, make some more pitch. Pitch will become, well, eventually it will become, you'll get far too much of it, but to start off with, we're going to need that for mortared stone. So let's briefly talk about, and I'll just put this food away. Let's briefly talk about pitch, stone, and what you're going to be building. So let's just take the stuff out of here that we don't need. Maybe put some of this back. We've got 39 now. Is there any other food I want to get rid of? Seeds, maybe. I think I need to make more storage chests, don't I? I'm getting far too full. Ugh. Anyway, so ramps and roads. You can make dirt roads out of dirt, obviously, as you might imagine. Stone goes to 2 wide, minimum. Asphalt goes to 4 wide. So if you're going to plan a road all the way from here, from our house, all the way down to wherever we're going to mine, well, you're going to want to think about that. You're going to want to make sure maybe eventually it goes 4 wide. So don't put anything you don't want. You want to keep within 2 blocks of a stone road. Also, we're going to need to deal with a gradient. Stone ramps and dirt ramps and everything else only go down, or only let you build them at a 4-to-1 gradient. So 4 across, 1 down. So if and then obviously I may have to turn here, so I may have to build more land or stone here. But if I want to go down here, let's just grab this shovel. 1, 2, 3. We're going to need 1 more. So assume this is the start of our road. Then this one is going to have to go down 4 as well. So again, we'll just do this. And then we can build a ramp here. Now, I think we already have... Did I pick up that masonry table? I did. Let me just try and place that down and get a ramp on build. Should be relatively simple. There we go. Stone ramps. 5 pitch and 10 blocks of stone. Let's go and grab a stone. Shouldn't take very long. There's just some down here that we don't... Oh, that's ore. There's just some beyond this that I was taking the previous from. And wherever you see huckleberries, always do make sure to pick them up. Because you don't have to replant them, so you may as well just grab them on the way back, the past, and then you can obviously grab them again once the wild ones regrow. Okay, so let's just grab this and this. Did it say 10? Let's just get a full amount. It doesn't take very long for stone. Obviously, you can see I've got quite a lot of coal here as well that I can use, which will become very, very useful once we get to smelting. 16, some more. Got 20? I've got 20. Okay. Let's head back over. And I have been getting more wood from here again, only picking like oaks and, taking only mature trees. So that's hopefully letting everything regrow. And okay, so stone can go in here. And let's build that stone ramp so you get an idea of what it's like. Stone ramp. Probably need stoneworking efficiency in here to make this cheaper. That's going to be 40 seconds. And let's see what else has been built while we've been doing that. So, has there anything been built? Wood cart. Yeah, so we're going to need the road tool first of all. Stockpile. No. Is the road tool not built yet? No, I don't think it is. Which machine was it on? Was it on this masonry table? Nope. Where did I build the... Oh, it must have been on the workbench. Yeah, there it is. It's still got 3 minutes to go. That's why. Okay, let's wait for that to finish. Okay, so our stone ramp is finished. And as you can see, it's quite large. But again, it also requires that 4-to-1 gradient. So if I put it here, it'll work quite well. What we're going to have to do is dig this out and replace it with stone road, I think. So dig this area out right here. However, we can obviously move that down. So the next stone ramp will go here, and it will match up perfectly with that edge. And then we're going to have to think about turning somewhere. The main thing with this is that these are 4. They do make you run faster, which is good, but they're also mainly for the carts. So you have to, or you're going to want to, every so often, don't go, just straight down a ramp, straight into the ground without putting flat areas in. You're going to want flat areas to pull the carts off and into side stockpiles and stuff like that. This is the one downside, I suppose, with the eco, in that the ramps can only currently go down 1 gradient, which means it's quite a shallow gradient, which was one thing, which means in order to get quite deep, you're going to have to dig an awful lot. So having multiplayer to help does help that. But also you're going to have to watch out for other things like carts turning. And if you're a multiplayer, you're going to want large flat areas where you can pass another cart. Because if I'm walking down this ramp and it's only 2 wide, the cart is about 2 wide. So if you get facing another player, then you're going to have a few issues. But you get the idea. I'm just going to wait for some other bits and pieces to finish. And then we'll finish up this episode with a measly start to our road and of where our eventual mine is going to be. Okay, so here's our road tool, which we'll grab, and our first small cart. The large cart is actually not too far away in terms of technology, which will help a great deal. So that's something to do, and let's grab the road tool. So, yep, it's just a flat thing. Let's just see if we can... there we go. So if you're on a dirt road that's flat, you can just use a road tool. But if we're going to want stone road, that has to be a masonry thing. So we can probably start this to start off with. And this will create quite nice square Minecraft-like edges to the road as well. And the only reason I'm doing this right now is that then we can place a cart down. Or at least we can try and place a cart down. It may have some issues. It's not quite... let's put it here for a second. There we go. So hopefully this isn't too bad. So you can either press E on the cart itself. So it's got 6 spaces, which means it can take things like hewn logs. We can carry hewn logs by a great amount more than we can at the moment. Or you can grab this area and you can then pull the cart. And I'll let it down there. So you get an idea. That cart is just big enough for this stone road, which is 2 wide. Asphalt road or an asphalt road will obviously be 4 wide, and we're going to get bigger carts than that. The next cart will look a little bit larger, and then much further on there's the powered cart, which is like a jalopy style, sort of halfway between a horse and cart and an actual automobile cart. A very early automobile, in fact, and not even a car. You know, the kind of 1890s kind of thing. So yeah, that's going to be something that we're going to have a much larger road for. However, in the meantime, what I think I'm going to do for the mine is I'm going to head down this way. I'm going to make a turn here because off over here it's continually decreasing. I will get into the ground if I go this way, but I'll probably get into the ground faster if I head that way because it's going to be flat ground. So we're going to get to that stone layer, which is the important part of all this. Eventually this does decrease, but there's no canyons in the way, and it should decrease faster than, well, it should, you know, let me dig into the ground faster than any other direction. That's, of course, the disadvantage of being on an area that is pretty high. And there is a build height limit to eco, so you may not be able to build up into the sky via skyscrapers. But this does allow me to see an awful lot in every direction. So you take, you know, pros and cons to that. Anyway, that's the end of this episode. I'm going to be building more road. I need a Back to the Future reference about that at some point. And yeah, continuing just waiting for this water wheel and mill to build. And I think we'll build that milling centre next episode. And it's going to be down there near the river. And I've put waypoints down to our various different crops. That's a very useful thing to do, particularly if your yield is quite far away from your base. You don't want to lose where you've put your crops. So I hope you enjoyed the episode. Next time we'll get to milling, and we'll see what else we can fit into that episode as well. Maybe some views of the mine. Unfortunately, that's not going to be very exciting. So, you know, maybe just a couple of seconds on that. All right. Once again, feel free to thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe and share if you haven't. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.